On Snowball Earth, acquiring resources is always a chore, and a dangerous one at that, but occasionally we are rewarded for our efforts. Welcome everybody, my name is Ryan, and we are back with more Vintage Story Snowball Earth. And as you can see, I've got several bloomeries going. They are all filled with magnetite and charcoal, and I can just hear them kind of burning away. It's music to my ears. And in addition to that, we also made a very important discovery on the last episode. We finally got ourselves an oak seed. So how about we jump below real quick and take a look at it. And here we are, more than 100 blocks underground, just a few levels above the very bedrock of this world. Unfortunately, our oak sapling has not sprouted yet. It's going to be a few more days. I hope it has enough headroom up here. It's kind of hard to see, but I did hollow out a good chunk of this. Of course, lava is always an incredible danger down here. And if you are new to the series, maybe you've missed several of the last episodes. For one thing, I've got a link to the playlist down in the description for you, but I did have some mishaps with lava a couple of times down here in this room. But we can also pay attention to the temperature. Right now at almost midnight on a polar world, we've got a nice balmy 53 degrees Fahrenheit down here. So it's not the warmest, obviously. Some crops do get certain kinds of damage here, just depending on what time of the day and the extremes of temperature. But the fact that we've got crops growing at all here on Snowball Earth is a relative miracle, and in large part thanks to the mods that I've got installed, and of course some of the world settings. You know, we obviously have underground mining or farming on for sure. Now, I don't know about the tree. You know, we got the hard part over with. Getting the seed was definitely a big challenge for us, but I don't even know if it's actually going to sprout down here. I mean, we haven't successfully sprouted trees yet. Some commenters have suggested maybe it needs to be opened up a bit more, because oak trees can get pretty big, and that's not a bad idea. I could certainly push this wall back a bit more and just open the whole thing up, but it's a very delicate process, you know, involving precautions regarding the lava, something I've learned the hard way, but we won't go into the details of that just yet. We'll give it a little bit of time, a couple of days. We can wait to see if that seed sprouts, but if 3 days pass and nothing happens, we'll know that we've got an issue on our hands that needs to be addressed. But for right now, it's just going to be playing the waiting game. Maybe we're going to work on our fortifications around the base today, because we've definitely had some issues with wildlife, and I'm talking serious wildlife. But some commenters have helped along the way for sure. One in particular we're going to do a little investigating on, but I don't want to spoil anything just yet. So let's flash forward to the morning. Yeah, we're going to sleep a little bit, and I'll see you when it's a little bit less threatening outside once the sun comes up. All right, good morning, everybody. It is 6 a.m. Let's peek outside. Now, let me grab my spears. Yeah, let's grab the spears. A couple things we want to investigate here. Again, thanks to the commenters out there. Big shout out to everybody who leaves them. Appreciate you guys very much. It's of course encouraging, but it helps a lot with the algorithm too. So keep it up. But one commenter, Big Rod, suggested maybe we can actually use these gaps to our benefit and see if we can shoot through them or throw through them. Now, my guess is this is actually just a superficial gap, meaning these blocks are actually whole. There's going to be a stoppage here. We won't be able to, but let's just find out. Oh my God, it worked. It did actually go through. Wow, see, that just goes to show, never rest on your assumptions alone. You should always experiment, test your hypothesis. So big shout out again to Rod. Thank you, my friend. Always helpful and encouraging. Oh my God, this little guy's been out here making weird noises, so I'm going to get rid of him. But we need to really keep our heads on a swivel, actually, before I just wander out here. Let's play things smartly, because we've got T-Rexes in the vicinity. If you are unfamiliar, this is a heavily modded playthrough, and the challenge of the weather here in Snowball Earth was just not enough for me. I wanted even more dangers besides just temperature, so I did install some dinosaur mods. We've got mosasaurs in the water and T-Rexes on the land. Oh, we got a penguin too, but those aren't... Oh my gosh, we got a bear over here. That's one of the first times we've seen a bear in our vicinity. Oh, maybe we can take this boy down. This could be a good source of some food for us. Now, I do have a primitive bow. Yeah, let's go hunt this guy, because I don't see any T-Rexes yet, but that's another thing we need to investigate. Commenter pointed out, I think there's one trapped in a cave, or one of these pits down here, so we're going to have to go look at that, but first I want to try and take out this bear. Okay, there he is. What we're going to do is tower up, and then shoot him down, hopefully. Let's see, he's probably going to go running off, though. Maybe let's wait for him to get a little bit closer. Also going to put these on the hot bar. I expect these to have much more damage. Yeah, negative 0.38. That's got a crappy accuracy. Plus 2 piercing damage. I'm not sure what the true damage on the bow and arrow is, but this guy is over here just sitting around. The laziest bear you've ever seen. Let's get a little bit closer. Think we can get moved in without aggroing him. Alright, I'm gonna go up a decent distance because these guys can, I think they can climb 4 blocks, 3 or 4. Pretty good little distance they can climb, but let's test the range with our spear. Ooh. Oh my god, that was way off. Yikes. Actually, I found it kind of helps to zoom and shoot a little bit because then you can kind of see where your arrows go. There he goes. Alright, let's see if we can tag him again. I'm super tempted to get down there and just straight up take him on. Oh boy, I'm fairly confident in exterminating bears. Like, if I had better armor, it would certainly be nice, but I do not want to let these arrows despawn, so let's collect our ammo, and we'll go tower up a little closer to him. Where was he? All the way down here? Was there any more? Alright. These arrows, of course, do have a chance to break occasionally. I think the iron ones have the least chance, but we gotta be careful. Alright, a little closer. Penguin, if we're not successful with this bear, I'm gonna be taking that penguin out. That'll be lunch. Alright, let's tag him. Come on, give me a spear hit. Spears. Oh wow, that was way over him. Oh my god. Let's try that zoom again. It's close. There he is. Oh. Nice. I'm gonna lose arrows shooting him like this all over the place, but... let's go. Let's collect our ammo. Alright, I'm gonna put the dirt in my hand in case he doubles back and gets aggressive. But at this point, I don't know what his health is at, obviously. We need to maybe get close enough to check out his health bar. And I'm going to take these towers down too once the hunt is over, don't worry. But I'll also be very cautious of, still T-Rex is in the area. Okay, there he is. Let's get close. And I'm tempted to just aggro him. Usually, if you keep your nerve and you just pummel the crap out of them. Oh no, how did I choke? Oh no, 11 lives. Well, we're right back. Oh my god, I'm spawning on the outside here. That's bad news. He's almost dead though. Alright, hold on. We got this. We just lost a life, so I am not giving up. Let's see. Has he moved far enough away for me to claim my stuff? Where did we die? He's pretty close still. I don't have any dirt. Okay. Gotta let him maybe move off a bit. Oh, he's right there. He's right there. Damn. Let's grab these arrows. Okay, we've got our stuff back. I'm gonna tag him again. God, I don't want to die a second time. It's unfortunate, but I just couldn't pump out enough DPS to down him. What the hell, bro? Are you kidding me right now? What the hell? My arrows... Oh, my bow and arrow was on a different button. Alright, this is getting ridiculous. I gotta do this more carefully. 2 lives is appalling. Alright. Dead ahead. Let's just wait for him. Oh man, I thought this was going to be a nice, easy episode where we can just relax and build. Here I am, suiciding myself on these stupid bears. Let's see, where's my stuff? I think it's right there. That's a little close. Can we get to it? Alright. It's time to tower up and take this guy out. Watch him only drop like less than 10 meat or something. Yeah, what is this hotbar? That is not the way I had it set up. That is bizarre. Well, that's what basically got me killed. Okay, so here we go. Enough complaining. Man, I was hoping it'd just be like one more shot. Alright, let's go get it. Oh, there's a freaking T-Rex right there. Holy crap. Oh, I think he's going for the bear. I think they're coming for me. Oh my god, what is happening? Yeah, they don't seem to aggro on each other. Oh, come on. Nice. Okay, the bear is down. Let's scare this T-Rex off. Don't you touch that bear. It's my bear. Wow. Wow. So, yeah, he's been around here for a while. Man, I'm glad I noticed him. The coloration on this Tyrannosaurus variants is, I mean, it really blends in. It's crazy just how camoed they are out here in this basically limestone and snow biome. Alright, I'm going to try to retrieve without aggroing him. Let's butcher the bear. Come on, give me like 20 meat. 20. Okay. 12, you bastard. You skinny bear. Poor starved little bear. Alright, I've only got 7 blocks on me. It's not very much. So we go both of our spears. There's potentially still some arrows around here. Oh my god, I can't believe I sacrificed myself for a little bit of meat. Yeah, and again, this is a limited life run. I'm going to be going with the lowest counter too. I think we've got 10 lives left, so it's unfortunate, but that's what we're looking at. Alright. If we have more at the end of those 10 lives, then we'll just count that a bonus. Alright, because the counter's weird. Something's up with that. Issues with the counter on a limited life run. But let's reclaim our soil here. Very important. This stuff is extremely valuable. And, oh my gosh. We've already seen one T-Rex, but like I said, there is potentially one trapped in a hole. So let's get this set up and go investigate. Alright, well, before we set out, I wanted to take care of a couple chores, keep you guys up to tabs too. We've got 35 iron blooms now after the very first round of iron is done, and I've got a second round going with 4 more bloomeries. So we're going to have a lot of iron, but that means I've got a lot of blacksmithing to do, which is kind of tedious. Some people really enjoy it. I do get bored of it after a while, but one of the best parts is we've got the X skills mod. So this actually, oh look, I've got a point here too. Let's put that in thrift. Yeah, I think we want to keep thrift, but there's a whole metalworking section which can really have some great perks and be beneficial as you get, you know, more and more experience blacksmithing. So this does really add like a whole new component to the game, you know, more of an RPG character building aspect, which does make like the more mundane chores like pottery or metalworking much more fun and exciting, knowing that you're actually building towards some really cool perks. But let's go ahead and pour out some food because my character is hungry. So this is our bear stew right here. Hearty bushmeat, pine nuts, and boiled lingonberries. Doesn't sound that great, but hey, it's better than nothing. And of course, we're able to use bushmeat in our recipes because of the expanded foods mod, one of my favorite mods. And it's actually one of the most downloaded mods too, Vintage Story. But of course, my full mod list is down in the description if you're curious. Let's leave this behind just so we have extra room. Also, don't need to bring these with me. But we're not going too far, thankfully, because there is this other T-Rex out here we're going to have to be very careful about. So let's just see if we can get eyes on it. I don't see it, but it's definitely in the vicinity. Maybe it'll get trapped in a hole too at some point. There's a couple of steep pits around that area. Alright, but we're just going, I think it's just dead ahead. Yeah. Alright, so let's hop over the fence. Oh, I should probably harvest this little guy. I don't think we get much meat from these foxes. Oh, we did. Alright, we'll take it. Let's put that away. And I definitely want the bones. But let's get our dirt in our hand. Alright, so we need to be checking out any of these pits. I hope it's not this one, because... oh my god, it is that one. Holy crap, there's a T-Rex down there. I'm kind of shocked it can't get out of there. What the heck? Yeah, look, this is like not that steep, but it's about to get steeper. He might be trapped. It looks like he's trying to move, but he's like stuck in place. Okay. Well, that's good news for us, but I'm definitely going to try and make this a little bit safer. So what we're going to do now is try and breed this T-Rex. 100%. Of course, we're going to have to go over and figure out its gender. It's all the dirt I've got. We might upset it, and it might actually break free of whatever it's stuck on. So let's be very careful here. But I do need to get... oh, look. Does that open in that direction too? I don't know. Yeah, it's also not good for us if it falls and like goes below, even lower. See how there's even more of a drop there? We don't want it to disappear into nothingness. If I'm gonna domesticate these, we want it in a better location. But what we might be able to do is get it to lay some eggs, and then we could steal the eggs, set up our own little T-Rex pen, design it perfectly, you know, and then just dispatch the mother here and the father if we can get one. But I still don't know what gender this is. It's not showing me its tooltip yet because we're not close enough. My god, if this snow collapses... oh, I don't think I can check it without getting in there with it. That's not good. That is not good, because I know it looks to be trapped, but I guarantee as soon as I like touch down in that area, it would probably instantly get free and kill me. Well, we know of its location, and if possible, I'll lure some other T-Rexes in there, although that sounds like an insane idea. But we might be able to boost our speed, you know? I just showed you the X Skills mod. It definitely has some traits in there which will help speed and stuff. We'll have to see. We'll just play it by ear. But for now, I think it's time to focus on a little bit of metalworking. What do you say? Well, alright, here we are, toasty and warm in our little blacksmithing. I've got the second round going still, and we're heating up some blooms. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is make a nice set of splitter plugs. I'll probably just start with 4. These are from the Stone Quarry mod. Now, I won't open it up if I look at it, but we'll definitely demonstrate how these work here in probably an upcoming episode. But I'm also going to work on making a shield. That will definitely help. We get into combat situations where it can be prepared. And a few other tools, obviously. I've got an iron pickaxe. That was my first priority, but I'm going to whip up some other stuff, and I'm just going to keep going making ingots after that as long as I can stand it, or until the morning, whichever comes first. Ooh boy, alright, it's time to hang up the new iron hammer that I made. Made quite a few things, although it feels like I barely scratched the surface here with our ingots. Let me put that back so we can stack these. Of course, the next round is finished, so we've got even more iron blooms now, but I've still got 27 there. I'm going to stack those off, put these little bits away. These can all stack together. There we go. Yep, and of course the iron hoop and the boss. There it is, there it is. Okay, I've also got another broken hammer. I think I might actually repair these tins brown ones. I don't know. We've got so much iron now, it's probably not necessary to conserve. But it's always good having extra hammers. Alright, but anyway, we're done with the blacksmithing for now, so let's get our inventory situated, and we've got to go underground. Alright, wait a second, what's this? Okay, we need some boards here. Yeah, let's whip this up. I want to put these away out here. The black coal goes outside. I did get another round of charcoal going, so for the moment, we've got plenty of wood and charcoal, but we are going to have to venture out there eventually and try and get some more with the T-Rex right by the lake. But let's have a little breakfast here. Let's see, it's 6 a.m. Yeah, see, that was almost perfect. I started to get bored with the blacksmithing just as the sun rose, but let's go ahead and whip up this shield. You know what? Let's do it with the cedar pine. I don't know how much of a difference that will really make, but we'll see. Huh. Well, that's weird. I've tried a few different things here, and it won't let me build it with this wood. Maybe is it the wood? I don't know. Let's try a different variety real quick. Alright, yeah, there we go. So the pine will have to do, I guess. Just couldn't use that modded stuff, I assume was the issue. Alright, so we've got that put away. Yep, a few more things to sort out, and then we're going to go below ground and check on our oak tree. Alright, well, I realize, yeah, that the tree is not going to be ready today, but okay, 2 days. I just want to check on it, obviously, and we should be watering each day. With the setup we've got, I've mentioned this before, but they will receive 75% water without any effort, so if I miss a day, it's not a big deal. But, you know, since we're using low fertility soil, again, that's all we have access to. I just want to give these guys the best possible chance, to grow as quickly as possible. And speaking of that, look, we've got our first, this will literally be the first vegetables in the world. 6 of 7 carrots, and as long as I don't dump lava on them, I think it's going to be okay, but the temperature's definitely getting low. Oh yeah, we're only in September too, morning time. I am really afraid that once the true winter sets in, we get into December, January, maybe even sooner, temperatures are going to be even too low down here with the lava, but I don't know yet. We'll just have to wait and see. Maybe they'll stabilize at like 50 degrees, but either way, let's get back up to the top. We're going to get into some trouble today, hopefully some good trouble, and of course, we'll continue to check on this stuff daily. Alright, we've got a couple things to do today, so let's grab the spears, be safe. I need to go retrieve my dirt. I don't have much now that we captured that T-Rex or blocked it in its little hole, but that's dangerous territory right over there, and I don't have eyes on that other T-Rex, so we're going to have to be careful, but I do hear some little critters around. I think there's penguins, so I might have to go and take one of those out too. Oh, that stupid grizzly bear. It just had no meat on its bones, no fat either. Literally 0 fat dropped from that bear. But alright, let's not fixate on the nonsense now. Let's stay focused. We'll grab the shovel. Yeah, right now I'm totally unprepared if T-Rex creeps up on me. They do have a tendency to crouch too. They sleep, but they also will get down, and it kind of like appears like a cat. When a cat is ready to pounce, it's very creepy. Really, really good job on like the images, the sprites for the dinosaurs. Yeah, the models, I should probably call them more properly, but incredible work. That's why I love these dino mods. You know, they add a lot more danger and suspense to a world, but they're just so well made too. You know, the domestication, the fact that you can mount certain ones like T-Rexes, Tyrannosaurs I should say, really, really incredible. Can't recommend them enough. And in fact, I've got a nice little video on the channel which just previews them. But either way, let's go ahead and reclaim our soil. And one thing I would really, really like to get my hands on is some salt, also known as halite. Now, we're going to have to venture out for it, but we have gotten a few readings, promising readings nearby. Let's go back to the base, get safely behind our fence, and then we'll take a look at the map, see if we can plan out a little trip maybe. Alright, well, I just actually got another fox. That was the little critter. It wasn't a penguin this time, which means we've got 6 pieces. So we can, oh good, 3 berries. We can whip up a little meal here in the cooking pot. Might as well do this while we take a look at that map. Beautiful. And I've got the shield on the hotbar. You can tell I'm ready to go. 18 pieces of dirt is really not enough either. So when we venture out, we'll have to make sure to dig up a bit more. I like to be prepared. Heck, I wish I had a full stack, you know. All right, let's get rid of this thing. I've got so many of these. I haven't whipped up any barrels yet, but I know that I need to and start getting the lime water going. In fact, we could probably do that ahead of time, you know, waiting for that oak tree to grow. There's no reason not to. In fact, if you noticed, there's the bear hides right there from that bear we killed. So, you know, I could start the process, especially with these things. And again, if you're unfamiliar with these animal mods, if we take this skin, which the skin is really, or it's the pelt, it doesn't go bad. But if you put it in your crafting grid with the knife and the right, there it is, you can actually turn it back into the regular hides that you get vanilla. So that is the reason I've been keeping these. And now you'll begin to realize that I'm actually swimming in hides and pelts. Look at all those over there. You know, we've got tons. So it's just a matter of getting the barrels made, setting up the water with the lime. And of course, the obstacle there is I've just got to stand here and manually grind. So I won't subject you to that. Like I said, maybe we'll do a little adventure before then. But it is in my mind. I just want you guys to know if some of you are out there saying, make your barrels, get your lime water. I'm with you. And I'll do it at some point off camera. But let's see here. I believe the halite was south of us. I got several readings. Let me see if I can locate it. I know that, oh, I think it's here. There it is. Very poor halite, 12%. I think that's the best reading I got here. Very poor halite drops to 10% there. Oh, it actually goes to 12.83 here. That's right. And I think I even took some over here. It drops off. So right around this region might be the best place for us to check. Now, it's not very far, is it? You know, just a quick jaunt across the ice hills. But one thing we've learned about these hills is they are crawling with dangerous creatures. So I did equip another little piece of body armor. Of course, our old one broke when that bear killed me twice, but we're just gonna have to do our best and obviously utilize towers, spears, and arrows to identify and eventually scare off any predators. Well, there's definitely creatures out here, but so far just some elephants. We're just right behind the house, so let's get moving. We are pointed in the right direction. Oh, Christ. That scared me to death. Okay, we got a couple elephants trapped. That's pretty huge, too. Now, believe it or not, those can be domesticated and mounted and ridden eventually. You do have to get them up to 10 generations, though. So, and they gestate for a long, long period of time. I've never done it personally, but I do have a Patreon member on my multiplayer server who has accomplished that monumental feat. So that's a potential, too, if we want to get an elephant mount. See, as far as I understand it, they don't move really quickly. They do carry a lot, but I think I'd rather strut around on a T-Rex if I could. So, all right, let's check the map. Yeah, dead ahead is the region where the halite, it's like right there. And I don't see anything moving, so let's risk it. Let's tower down and start the sprint. Alright, looks pretty quiet down here. I towered up again and kind of just stood and overlooked this little valley. I didn't see any bears or any movement whatsoever, so seems pretty still, but I'm going to be cautious. Now, the only thing I didn't bring, I've got my pro pick, a little extra food. We do have the basket on our back, so that's got a bed in it. We want to sleep for a day or two over here looking for salt, but I don't have ladders. They're just sticks are in really high demand right now with the pit kilns we've got and ladders, so I'm going to spend a little bit of a hectic time out here just cutting down some leaves. I hate doing this too because I have to look in the direction of the leaves, and of course that means I'm basically blinded, you know. I'm not going to see anything creeping up on me, so I just hate doing this chore, but we're in the right area, so let's see. This is interesting too, the halite occurring in limestone like this. It might be difficult to visually see it, but of course we're going to be relying more and more on the pro pick readings. So, alright, let me grab a few more of these, probably make a stack of ladders, and then we're going to start sinking shafts and taking some more readings. Alright, well, I grabbed some sticks. We've got not a full stack of ladders, but about a half stack, and I've located this little cave here. It's just near the highest reading right there, so we might as well see if we can get lucky. Let's put the torches in this hand for now. Also going to put that away, get that food out, have a nice little meal before we go below. Of course, we don't have to worry too much down here. There could be cave goblins, but other than that, it's going to be pretty safe. Let's see, how deep are we at? Level 83. It just keeps on going, doesn't it? Looks like, is that maybe a glowworm hole over there? Alright, we're dropping in. I'm going to have to utilize my dirt to get out of here. In fact, let me go ahead and place that, because that can also serve as a landmark down here so I can find the exit again. Alright, beautiful. Yeah, I'll set up the ladders later. Let's grab this. Okay, and I think I'll just slap down a torch. We'll reclaim these. Again, just to help myself. I have a tendency of getting lost underground, but saltpeter's nice. Glowworms are cool to look at, but otherwise pretty much useless. Bismuth, I'm taking that. Always take bismuth, because you can literally heat this stuff up with peat. It will actually melt with peat, and you don't need charcoal alone, not bismuth bronze, just the bismuth ore by itself, and then it makes some really nice looking lanterns if you hammer it out into plates after making ingots with it. So I'll definitely grab this stuff, and maybe we'll take a few more like small range samples. Still looking for that halite. Oh man, wow, you can see the list here. I've gone down to level 20, taking samples along the way. Nothing. We are very close to, yeah, there it is, very poor halite, 12.8, so that's the best sample we got. I did take another one down to here. This was deep underground, and the halitite dropped off to minuscule, so it's not to the south. I'm actually thinking maybe it's more like closer to the coast, but it's also, I think it's probably going to be higher in level 2. The halite that I found in my other single player world was actually on the surface. It was like I noticed it when I was just boating, like rafting around, and I've seen other halite deposits that are relatively buried, but not that bad. Wow, that kind of scared me. Luckily these goblins are a pushover, but alright, so there's a little bit more to explore. Yeah, it is kind of creepy though, even though they're weak. Just hearing and seeing stuff down here, even knowing it's supposed to be relatively clear, is still a little disturbing. But let's go up here. So we got cracked. Oh, interesting. Okay, little hidden cavern. Dead ends back here, but I think it's probably going to get a little bit lower if we sample, but all right, I'm going to grab this saltpeter, take a few more short-range samples, but don't worry, I haven't given up. I need the salt. Okay, I've used every single ladder that I have currently. Oh, look at that. So you can see the list is mostly nothing. I did notice some cassiterite and some copper just now, but that's not what we're here for. So we've got to go back up. It's after midnight, so it's a little bit too dark to go outside and chop down limbs. Means we've got to set down our little straw bed and sleep underground tonight, but that's not a big deal. I've got it with me here in my straw backpack, so we just have to get to the cavern opening. I've been digging at all different levels, so we're literally just right near the surface here. In fact, if we go in and look up halite, it gives us a little bit of info here where to find salt domes found in any area with at least one sedimentary stone layer. That's the limestone we've got. No matter the climate, the thicker the sedimentary layers, the better the chance. Additionally, halite can be found at dry river or lake beds, yada yada. So yeah, I think it might be that it'll be closer to the surface here. And again, it's going to resemble the limestone in color a bit, so I might want to, again, go back up to the surface in the morning and just search for some gravel pits that we can clear, see if there's any easy to find stuff. But we're going to go a little bit lower, where of course it's safe down here. And yep, set up a little campsite. I might fill up my bags on more of this saltpeter too. Apparently it's fairly good stuff for the farm, and I think we'll need it for some other crafting recipes down the road. But oh my gosh, guys, I think that'll do it for today's episode. It's been a good one, other than the fact that I died twice to a stupid skinny old grizzly bear. But don't worry, we're still set for many, many more episodes, I'm sure of it. And hopefully we can get up to some iron armor at some point and start taking on these animals really in a good fight. But I appreciate everybody who's been tuning in. Thank you all for joining me for this one. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys on the next one.